Hello, hello, and welcome to Arkadium's Daily Crossword Live. If you are seeing me and thinking, that doesn't look like a May, it is very astute of you. I am filling in for a May for a little while she takes a much-deserved break, but I will be carrying on her tradition of solving the Wednesday LA Times crossword. That's the puzzle we're going to tackle today. I see D ready to play in chat. Good morning, D. Hey, Harambe, Blake, Plank Boy, Toddly Enough. We got Scav, wasting no time as usual, getting right into the puzzle. Avalanche Kid and Rand are here, and Minius Mini and Logician on the other platforms as well. So why don't we dig into today's puzzle? Reminder, LA Times crosswords do not have titles, but they do have themes. Today's is by Joe Dini, kind of a veteran constructor. I've solved many Joe Dini puzzles in my time, and several people guessing chip at one across. I haven't even read the clue. Debit card feature. Yeah, debit cards do indeed have chips, and chip is a 4-letter word, so seems good. Kit says, this is awesome. I'm glad to hear you say that. Are you new here, Chip? Because if you think it's awesome, you haven't seen anything yet. We stream every single day at noon Eastern time, and we play a game called Hurdle after the crossword, which is always fun. Yeah, Blake already keeping his eye on the diagonal, because that's a good point. This diagonal is wide open today, and yesterday the theme was wild. I'd never seen anything like that with the theme completely on the diagonal. Second visit. Well, I'm glad to have you back, Kit. Oh, C31 across. I've had this up, and we don't even know what 31 across is. Let's just skip it for now, see if we can solve the section without it. 2 down is sweets. Sweets, 3 letters, and we believe it begins with an H. Yeah, Logician had a quick guess, which does look right to me. Of course, Scav agreeing. Yeah, and Toddly Enough, and D and Randy. I guess everyone is in agreement here. Hun. So I guess we're not talking sweets as in treats. We're talking sweets as in pet name, like Sweetums. So Hun, Honey, seems reasonable. We could probably make this work. 15 across is Frost. Frost. By the way, Blake, I am seeing some long across entries, which look like theme entries to me. So maybe we won't be getting a fully diagonal theme today. Arkadium, do you not call your loved ones Sweetums? Is that a Jackism? Kathy K and Avalanche Kid are saying cold. Ah, frost and cold. Yeah, that makes sense. Minnie's Mini also giving me a chilly emoji. Oh, there is another one, though. Real K Rabbit and Rhonda. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. We should be careful. This also means like frost, like a layer of frost on something. Often it's heard as hoary. I feel like the adjective is a little more common. So maybe we do a cross. Actually, cold does not look as promising with the crosses. Yeah, you're right, Z. I think I agree with Z on this one. This is just looking better with the crosses. So we'll start with this. Yeah, CC is weird, as Minnie is saying. Yeah, and Logician is pointing out that at least this diagonal cannot be fully thematic today because we have some black squares interrupting. But this diagonal is wide open. I don't know how common that is, actually. Gets too personal. I see. I like what Scav and D and Rand and Rhonda are saying here. And Z and Kathy. Oh, Kathy K is saying privy, which is interesting. I think it doesn't quite agree with the tense of the clue. I think what Underwater Canuck is saying on YouTube makes a little more sense. Prize gets too personal. You pry, ask invasive questions. So maybe we go with that. 1 down is a cross-referenced clue. It says like C31 across. I'm seeing if we can kind of solve this section without poking around the grid. Blake is predicting I am Groot for 3 down, which would be so funny. I don't think I've ever seen I am Groot in a crossword. Fault line. And it's got a question mark. So question mark means we shouldn't be reading this clue at face value. There's some kind of punnery, trickery going on. I see Scav and Blake saying, I am sorry. I see Logician saying, I admit it. I think both of those are reasonable. To me, the face value of the clue is like, the San Andreas fault, like tectonic plates kind of thing. I am sorry. Yeah, Z pointing out this might, I'm sorry, seems like a good possibility, but maybe we need crosses. I'm wrong, Kathy says. Yeah, I think maybe 21 across will shed light on this. Only. AJ's back on YouTube. What's up, AJ? Only. Okay. Oh, and actually, I kept the am in, but if it is I admit it, then the M wouldn't go there. And yeah, I'm actually starting to suspect I admit it, which was Logician's vote, because, ooh, I see. Kathy K saying 0. Kathy K always suggesting things I hadn't thought of. A lot of other people on TikTok are saying mirror, which I think makes sense. I think these kind of make sense. You can substitute them for each other. I also like the fact that it works with I admit it, which is that's a nice clue for I admit it, fault line, a line you speak when you are at fault. So maybe we go with that. I want a couple more downs before we look at this super long across entry. Our first themer, I'm assuming, at 18 across. Kathy K says, because I'm usually wrong. Oh no, is that true? That can't be true. I highly doubt that. D-backs on a scoreboard. Yeah. Scav is my resident baseball expert, right? I'm getting several different guesses. So Underwater Canuck are saying R's, but you're probably getting at the same thing. John Paul is agreeing Arizona, but then sometimes Arizona's like this. I'd look at 30 and 33 across right now. Where's 30 and 33 across? Oh, I see. I like a left to right solve though. I'm more tempted to go to this section. All right, but we can maybe it's time we check the long cross. Cart wants Ari as in Arizona. Wildflower with showy red bracts. Oh boy. Okay. This is not really in my wheelhouse. I'm going to need a lot more crosses for this, I believe. These letters are not helping me much. But does anybody in chat know their wildflowers? Huh. Anybody? Yeah, it seems people do. So everyone's agreeing. Scav, Z, Rhonda D, and JC are all. What's a bract? Says Sella. Sella, I hope you're asking your fellow chatmates what a bract is, because I am unaware myself. Everyone seems to know what an Indian paintbrush is. Shania says I have a bunch of them that grow here. That's cool. Okay, well then I trust you. Indian paintbrush. Never heard of this flower in my life. I don't do plants, says Blake. Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I love them. I see them everywhere when I'm in the Sierras, says Z. Oh, I gotta look up Indian paintbrushes after the stream. It's times like this I wish I could just pull up Google on stream and look up Google images. Hey, allegedly, how you doing? Petro-Canada rival. Indian paintbrush. Very interesting first themer. I have no idea where this is headed. Usually I like to get at least 2 themers before I start speculating about what the pattern is. 1 is not enough to establish a pattern. Dave and Underwater Canuck and Charlie Rollins and Toddly Enough and Dad Not Dude are all saying Esso, which I think sounds right. Esso, a major brand of gas in Canada. Okay, and that works very nicely with Trigu at 6 down. Love when we get a little confirmation with our crosses. I think we're in solid shape. Lay is here. Welcome back, Lay. And John Paul and Kit all saying sap. Yeah, it's gotta be, right? That's what Minius Mini wants. Trigu is definitely sap. Ready Player One author Klein. I don't know this. This is the second kind of trivia question in the grid that I am ignorant of, but I know someone in chat will know this. Rhonda says, I'm calling it tree goo from now on. Yeah, we really should be dwelling on this clue. Forever known as tree goo. Underwater Canuck says, fun fact, Esso is a play on the letters SO for Standard Oil. That is a fun fact, or at least a very interesting one. I did not know that. JC and Lay are saying Ernest, but Lay is admitting that it's an educated guess from the letters. Ernest is a first name that does look like it fits. Several other people are saying Ernest as well, so let's go with it. Sci-fi novel, says Scav. Yeah, and I remember the movie was really popular too, but I never read the book, I never saw the movie, and I don't know Ernest Cline, so this puzzle's making a ignoramus out of me today. Flirty growl? Flirty growl. I love this entry, actually. Yeah. Belluccio saying rasp, which is we should consider because rasp is sort of a growl in your throat, and I could see rasp sounding kind of flirty or sexy at least. But Berend is telling me roar like this, which I think is funny enough to be correct. This is sort of a modern, typed. You're gonna hear Scav roar, yeah. We'll check the crosses. Kim Benedict is voting roar. Kit is. Minius Mini is. So I feel good about it. Ooh, 24 across. Charlie is noticing it's shaping up to be Irish something. So maybe we're starting with country names, like plants that begin with countries. Maybe that's the idea. Charlie always looking out for theme insights. Savannah Grazer. Savannah Grazer. Ledition is impressed with all of TikTok for getting roar with a W. What's 8 down beginning with OPI? Well, we're thinking ORI if roar is correct. Savannah Grazer. I see Shania and D saying Oriole, which is news to me. I thought if you put an E on the end of this, it's a bird, and I don't really think of birds as grazers. Orion, Oryx. Oryx is, yeah, but Oryx I think is spelled with a Y and is 4 letters, not 5. So maybe we're stumped on this one. like I had to step away, so how do we get roar? Well, we're not sure a bit, and 8 down is stumping us a bit. But flirty growl is the clue, and I feel like this is a thing. Maybe we check the SWA. Most bogged down, another question mark. Orioles the state bird of Maryland, right? And it's the baseball team of Baltimore. Yeah, I think what Chulit is saying makes sense. And I'm now seeing Ledition is saying the same thing. What's the plural of oryx? That's a great question, Dave. Okay, I think we're in good shape here. I like what everyone is saying. Swampiest? It's a pretty funny clue for swampiest, most bogged down. Like literal bogs, I guess. And Kyle trying to piece together what the plural of oryx would be. But I think I saw Chulit saying, yeah, Oribi. It is an animal scav. And to be fair, I need to be reminded by crosswords about every 6 months that this animal exists. But it's a deer-like animal. So, I don't know. Lizzie is telling me that maybe purr is a flirty growl, but we'd have to tear out an awful lot of stuff to make purr work at this point. And, okay, if MB checks out, then I'm going to declare us in good shape. MIT Sloan degree, and MB checks out. So I think we're doing all right. Yeah, look up Oribis. They are a real thing. I only know them from crossword puzzles. And even then, it's not a super common crossword entry. But yeah, Catherine and John Paul and Rhonda and Ledition and Minius Mini and Kit are all telling me that you get an MBA from MIT Sloan. Yeah, Sloan is definitely MIT's business school. I know this. I have friends who have gotten MBAs at Sloan. So I'm happy with Oribi. I'm happy with Swampiest, and it's time for a new corner. Do something. Do something. Oh my god, I'm having flashbacks to yesterday's puzzle when the entire theme was in the diagonals of the crossword, and I'm noticing that there is actually a word here, code, but I think I'm just being paranoid and seeing things where they don't belong. It's like A Beautiful Mind where he was seeing patterns that weren't actually there, and I'm seeing code in my crossword puzzle. It's all a mirage. Catherine and allegedly telling me act, yeah, do something, Miniest Mini, voting for this as well. Yeah. Don't just sit there, you do something, you act. Yeah, Okapi scav is another crossword beloved animal. Okapi. Definitely could have been. Charlie says, one of the similarities between you and Russell Crowe. That's right. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by chat now. We have blocked at 10 down. Minius Mini and Ledition registered some quick guesses. Scavin, Bill Kirk, and Kyle Miner agreeing. Belluccio, too. So, yeah, we'll always look at the diagonals now, Rhonda says. Yes, we will not be fooled again. Dab looks good for blot. Underwater Canoe likes it. Canuck, I mean. Gil and Jay Oakley like it. Cool. Plank Boy shared the live. Thanks for that. And who said that? Roar for hurdle. Roars. Scab voting roar. There's no way the hurdle dictionary accepts roar with that spelling, but I like where your head is. NHL great Bobby. Aha. Yes. Hey Pashi, how you doing? Yes, another crossword favorite. We got a lot of kind of classic crossword entries in this puzzle. Whether or not you know sports, if you want to get good at crosswords, you need to know Bobby Orr and Mel Ott of baseball. It's one of these two, but the NHL one is Bobby Orr, ORR. I'm sure there are some actual hockey fans in chat who can tell me about Bobby Orr. What was the clue for roar, says Amy Gal? Flirty growl. Roar for Orr, says Blake. Oh, that's great. That's very good. God in the Haggadah. God in the Haggadah. Kathy K had a very natural guess for 9 across before seeing the clue, but think the clue is disagreeing with you. Yeah. So D and Blake and Shania and Bill Kirk are all saying the same thing. Oddly enough. And Harold. Adonai. So the Haggadah is the text you read at Passover. And Adonai is, I think, the Hebrew word for God. I think that's just what they call God in Hebrew. Allegedly, and ends are happy with it, and I'm happy with it, so we move on. Decently smooth solve so far. Had a little bit of a hiccup at Roar and Oraby, but we're making good time. Bobby Orr is a Boston Bruins legend, says Shania. I'm sure he is. He also has a very crossword-friendly name. Okay. Oh boy. Swerve dangerously. Swerve dangerously we have, yeah. Seen a lot of good guesses in chat. Scab and Chulit. And Underwater Canuck, I think you have the right word, but it's spelled a little differently. Amy Gal and Pashi are saying Kareen and Deswakt. Kareen looks good. Yeah, swerve dangerously. This is a little strange at 14 down. I just want to check it right away with crisp resolution. Okay, that letter combination was looking sus to me. Actually, this one too. A lot of these letters are a little unusual, but we might be able to make them work. I think we actually can. April Poe is here getting Kareen. Love it. Yeah, and then I like Minius Mini has a good guess for this one. Oh, Underwater Canuck, you have the flu? Sorry to hear that. Apparently the flu is going around. I hope you feel better soon. Oddly enough, and Rand and Mini are saying in HD with crisp resolution. Yeah, so if you parse it that way, it actually makes sense. In HD, high definition. So yeah, Catherine's happy with that. So Scavenge and I are talking Final Destination in chat. I could really get sidetracked in that. I know. Chat is very quick, Lay. They are. Jessica says, what was the theme again? So if you're asking for the title, we don't have one. LA Times crosswords don't have titles. And we only have one theme answer so far, Indian Paintbrush. A very interesting entry, but I have no idea what its broader context in the grid is. So there will be a theme, but I think we're going to have to see 24 across. I see some people guessing Mississippi something, which does look promising. But let's fill in this one first. Belluccio and Kyle Miner and Amy are saying Aesop's. Yeah, Aesop's Fables. Okay. Yeah, well, let's fill in this section and then I'll go to 24 across. How about that? Ooh, people actually already have a good, interesting guess for 24 across. That'd be cool. Mississippi mud pie is what Chulit is voting for. Photoreceptor cell. Nice. Oh, Mississippi doesn't fit. Am I? Yeah, you're right. These S's are actually misplaced. Okay, good point. So it's not going to be Mississippi something, but we know this. Minnie and Underwater Canuck and James and Scav know rod. Yeah, rods and cones in your eyes. And like brain activity is looking good. Yeah, and everyone is converging on 24 across. I think it's time we look at it. Maybe we'll fill in 12 down first, but very, very fun entry. Yeah, Belluccio and Catherine, and I guess some people saying neuron. I think neural makes more sense. Like brain activity is asking for an adjective, so neural is good, and that accords with people's guess for 24 across. Mockumentary about one of England's loudest bands. That's awesome. What a good theme entry. I don't even know what the theme is, but I love this entry. People were piecing this together just from looking at the letters we had in place. This is Spinal Tap. You don't know this, it's a beloved mockumentary, and by a guy whose like whole film career is mockumentaries, and yeah, very funny movie. This is Spinal Tap. Wow. So what do Indian Paintbrush and This is Spinal Tap have to do with each other? That they belong to the same theme set? Yeah, Charlie says good shout. Whoever spotted that. Logician says a sequel came out in 2025, and I did not know that. That is news to me. Total news to me. Ooh, Jessica and Bill and Chulit saying tap and brush, maybe like actions. Yeah, tap and brush. You're right. They do feel like they have similar intent, right? Yeah, turn it up to 11. Underwater Connect says. I wish we could host a Daily Crossword Live viewing of This is Spinal Tap. Big Bang letters. I like what Melissa Bogle has given me, and Ria and Shania and Chulit are saying TNT. It's very clever. Shania giving me the dynamite emoji. Yeah, Big Bang, not as in the birth of the universe, but just a large banging sound. Looks good. Chris is back on YouTube getting TNT as well. Welcome back. And we have blank so fast. Nice. Lucy and Clark and Belluccio and Underwater Canuck and Minius Mini all saying not so fast. Not so fast. Halt. That shouldn't have been possible, in quotes. That shouldn't have been possible. Natalie and Sarah are here getting not. And Pearl Light just followed us. Thank you for that. If anyone else is new here and doesn't follow us, do consider it. We stream every single day at noon Eastern time. And following us is the best way to keep in touch. Thank you, Pearl Light. Yeah, I like what Chulit and Enz and Minnie are saying. How? That shouldn't have been possible. How? How could that have happened? And Quinn and Lucy are quick on this one. Unexpected turn, a twist. Yeah, Miniest Mini and Logician like it too. Twist. What a twist. Good. Okay, let's with one down. Oh, okay. I forgot. We had this one down that was a cross-reference, and we never looked at it. With one down, martial art involving slow movements. Right, and we got one down just from the crosses, but all it says is C31 across. So now I get it. Finally get it. Yes, Arkadium helpfully reminding everybody that I'm streaming twice tomorrow. Our normal noon Eastern time, and then a bonus After Dark stream at 8 p.m. Late night with Jack, exactly, Scab. So if anyone's around at 8 p.m. Eastern, I would love your company. For both streams, ideally. There'll be 2 different crosswords, and we'll play Hurdle twice. Tai Chi is definitely a martial art with slow movements, so I'm glad that worked out. Holyhead Harvey says, oh, I love the evening streams. I'm glad to hear that. I like them too. I like them because people don't have to contend with work, And there's also just kind of a fun vibe when we're all meeting up after dark. Holiday weekend retail event often. Nice. I'm already getting Black Friday emails, promotional emails. So yeah, Black Friday coming up, Melissa Bogle. But yeah, my inbox would suggest it's already here. Sale for sure. Holiday weekend retail event. Makes sense. Maybe wine involved. Yes, oddly enough. BYOB to the evening stream. We all know I refuse to take sips of anything while streaming, so you'll be drinking alone. Seabass is here saying sale or CBAs. And then Shreya and my friends on YouTube. Catherine says, you're on when I get home in the evening, so your 12 p.m. works well for me always. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Catherine. Where are you tuning in from? Jack with one of those pipes in front of a fireplace. Okay. French article, yeah, it's looking like lay. It's like the article as in the part of speech. South Africa, Catherine, you're kidding me. I am going to South Africa in a couple weeks. My in-laws live in Johannesburg, and we're going to visit them. So I'll be there for the back half of December. Leaves partway through. Leaves partway through. Shania says tip, shop local businesses instead of big name chains for Black Friday. They need our patronage more. I like that tip, Shania. Good PSA for everybody. You're in Johannesburg too, Catherine. Wow, what a coincidence. Leaves partway through. Yeah, bails looks right. Harambe and Ria and Ladishan telling me, yeah, if you bail on a plan, you're leaving. Seems good. I'm eager to get to 39 across and see if it ends in a word that could belong to a category of brush and tap and things like that, because I'm still not 100% on this theme theory that we have. In a position to. In a position to. Nice. Oh, Blake has a guess for 39 across. Wow, how do you keep doing that? Jennifer Reese and Underwater Canuck and Dad Not Dude and Posh are all saying able. Yeah, in a position to. If you're able to do something, you're in a position to do it. I think that they mean the same thing. Fabrication. Fabrication. Blake is good, Rhonda. I'm glad you're noticing. I'm glad Blake is getting the attention he deserves. I've been watching this guy. He's good. Miniest Mini and James and Chulit and Ria saying lie. Yeah, fabrication can be used for a lie because you're making it up. To fabricate is to make something, really. Yeah, and I like what people are saying for 39. Let's get these two downs, and then I'll look at the long middle entry. Hideouts. Hideouts is looking good. Ooh, Barbara's back on Facebook. Welcome, Barbara. Also getting live for fabrication. Mini's Mini and John Paul and Shania. Yeah. I love chat is just a consistent flow of correct answers today. Natalie saying layers for hideouts. I always think of like a villain hiding out in a lair. Can you be a good person and have a lair? I feel like you can't. Bogged down. Ooh. Why are there's like a most bogged down was swampiest, and now we have bogged down without a question mark. So this, I guess, is straightforward. Yeah, bog again, allegedly. There's a mini theme all about bogs. Chulit and Rand. I've seen stranger things than a bog theme, but I don't think that's actually what we're getting today. Tie up seems reasonable. Ooh, and it's working with everybody's theory for 39 across. You guys are great. Blake, kudos to you for seeing this so far in advance. Line in Hamlet's to sleep perchance to dream soliloquy. Nice. Missouri Doug just followed us. Thank you, Missouri Doug. Hey, Angie, how you doing? Glad to have you back. Wow. Well done, Blake. There's the rub. Yes. Very famous line from Hamlet. Actually, okay. Here's my pedantry of the moment. Isn't that soliloquy very much called "To Be or Not to Be"? I feel like to call it the "To Sleep Perchance to Dream" soliloquy is inaccurate. It's called the "To Be or Not to Be" soliloquy. Am I wrong about that? But either way, it's got all these lines in it, including there's the rub, and importantly, rub works with our running suspicion of the theme. Brush, tap, rub. These are all in the same spirit, right? So I think we're in good shape. Allegedly wants Shrek to be the answer here, I think. I think you might be disappointed, allegedly. Imagine if Shrek is in the crossword, says Shreya. Okay. Ooh, and Beth Lynn just followed us. Thank you for that. Yeah, Blake is saying, I figured the themers are synonyms of touching stuff. You're right. It seems like that. Ooh, and Weapon AV just followed us. Thanks so much. Just catching up on chat for a little bit, but I do see a lot of good answers. Oh, just because of bog, I see. We got bogs going on, and now we're gonna have another mini themer of Shrek living in the bog. But no, fortunately, CB is telling me that Kurt means short. Yeah, and I think Underwater Canuck and Angie like that too. Short, like this. You didn't want it enough, says Arkadium. Yeah. Will Shrek into the puzzle harder next time? Holy Harpy says my brain is still tied in knots from Sunday's theme. Sunday was a barn burner. That theme, I'm reeling from it too. Holy Harpy. Liam Adkins just followed us. Thanks for that. Article of Faith. Blake and KB and Danny Joe and Rhea all saying Tenet. Yeah, Enz likes it. Seems good. Peace activist Yoko. Speaking of Sunday's puzzle, Ono was in our I just gave away the answer, but we all knew it. Yoko Ono was in our puzzle on Sunday, but it was of course spelled OHNO, I think, because everything was a homophone in Sunday's puzzle. Literally 45 homophones if you missed it, which was crazy. Followed a standing order. A lot of question mark clues in this puzzle, which I'm down for. Keep us on our toes. Followed a standing order. Yeah. Yeah, standing not as in Angie says it was epic. I love that. Yeah. Chris on YouTube is saying Rose. Yeah, allegedly, and Blake and Jennifer Reese agree. Literally, if you're ordered to stand, you rise. Cool. Let's do this one. What? Allegedly, you got your wish. It turns out you did will it into existence. Okay, it's not a specific one, but you did get your wish. Shreya and allegedly are psyched. How do you see the future? Ogres. Ogres have layers. It's so true. Wow. I can't believe that happened. What the? I knew it. Ogres for hurdle, says Rhonda. We might have to. We might have to. Wow. Maypro said it's hard to read the clues. I wonder if I can make them bigger. Increase clue size. See if this works. Does that help? Maybe that helped, Maypro. Let me know. Meanwhile, people know Sigma follower is Tau. Yeah, we're talking the Greek alphabet. That seems right. Sweet P getting that. Allegedly says, I'm triumphant. You really are. I can't believe you willed that into existence. Rainbow Canoe is back, saying hello. Oh, good. Maypro says it's better. The clues. Lewis in the news. Underwater Canuck on YouTube was quick on this one. Angie quick behind. Huey Lewis. I guess news is capitalized here, not in the news like in the newspapers. In the news, the band. Huey Lewis and the News is a band. My first concert, says Toddly Enough. That's an interesting fact. Seems fun. Bill Brown is here. Ice cream utensil. Barbara McDowell knows Huey Lewis and the News. Oh man, and Ledition is already looking ahead to 53 across. People have done an amazing job at predicting the next theme answer in this puzzle. I'm not going to tell TikTok what Ledition is seeing, but I think it's very promising. Angie and Barbara and Danny Joe and Scarlett telling me spoon. Yeah, of course you eat ice cream with a spoon. If you eat it with a fork, you are just plain weird. Ooh, scoop. Arkadium says, how's this not scoop? Could it be? No, tie-up seems... It's a fair point. Spoons are a lot less ice cream specific than scoops. Yeah. Okay. So, mare's meal. I'm seeing some people say oat, and some people say hay. Maybe we'll check the crosses. Bourbon barrel wood. Okay. Bourbon barrel wood. Although I'm realizing this, I shouldn't have checked this cross because both oat and hay have an A there. So that's not gonna decide it for us. But we might as well fill it in while we're here. Sarah and Chris and CB are saying oak. Yeah, for the bourbon barrel wood. That's gotta be right. You keep bourbon in oak barrels, right? And what do we have here? December 31st. Hay is for horses, yes. Yeah, I see Shreya also predicting 53 across. See some other people. And the K is working with the running theory. Okay, we'll look at that next. Very nice. See ya, Plank Boy. Someone whose username is just a diamond is saying NYE, which I think makes sense. New Year's Eve, December 31st. And that works nicely with hay. So I think it's time to look at our fourth themer of the day, which several people have tried to predict and seem to be correct. Style in a swimming medley. Style in a swimming medley. Very good. Very good. I wonder if we're supposed to notice this pattern on our own, or if 61 across will be an explainer of some sort. Yeah, but I like what allegedly and Scab and D and Ledition from way back saw this. I think even before we had that KE in place. Butterfly stroke, and look at that, it fits beautifully. It fits the clue, it fits the squares we have, and most importantly, brush, tap, rub, and stroke. There's definitely something in common with all of these. So I think we're onto something. Nice work. Yeah, and I see Scav pointing out that boho is a little weird here. We got to try to make sense of that. Oh, it's Sweet Pea is here saying P. How appropriate. Oh, Butterfly Kisses is a nice entry too, Rhonda. And I guess kisses could kind of work in the touching theme as well. Gravel size P. Is this like a formal thing? I know hail actually gets measured in terms of fruits. Is gravel actually like measured with reference to peas, or is this just an informal thing? Okay. I think yes. Yes, it's a thing. People saying P for gravel is a thing. Ooh, Shreya. That would be a nice. I see what you're saying, Shreya. It would be nice. Okay. Vash the Stampede. That's a fun username. Saying a staple gun for roofer's tool. Good entry. Good puzzle in general. I'm enjoying this one. Where to though? Should we look at 61 and see if it's a revealer? Maybe it's time. Yeah, because Amy, there's a really good theory going on in chat about what 621 across it. It is a revealer. I know because I see all these numbers, and you wouldn't do all this cross-referencing if it wasn't. Details that make things perfect, and what 18, 24, 39, and 53 across have. Very nice. Very nice. I think I saw Shreya get it first. Not that it's a competition. I'm seeing lots of people getting it, but kudos to Shreya for spotting this one. And Vash the Stampede, thanks for following us. Yeah, you nailed it, Shreya. Well done. You were also one of the ones who willed the ogre into existence. You should play the lottery today. That is not official financial advice from Arkadium. Finishing touches. Looks great. It fits beautifully. Look at that. Finishing touches. And it just explains the theme so nicely. Brush, tap, rub, stroke. They all finish their phrases and they mean touch in some form or another. Yeah, Shreya and allegedly are having a full mind meld today. Looks great. Okay. We're magic. I love that Shreya and allegedly are becoming besties before my eyes. In the distance, Shiloh and Jennifer and Maypro and Pashi and Chris and Underwater Canuck are saying afar. Holyhead Harpy, and what is that? Johan Belning? There's cool font. Okay. We carry on. Ooh, I see, yeah. Someone, I think Scab was predicting 42 down. It is looking right, but let's just work our way over there. Yeah, Arkadium trying to disavow me of any legal responsibility for the company. On behalf of Arkadium, buy lottery tickets. No, I'm kidding. Jokes, jokes, jokes. Do a kindness for. B and Catherine and Holyhead Harpy and Rhea are saying oblige. Yeah, Angie's liking this on YouTube too. Do a kindness for. Oblige. Would you kindly oblige? Boxer Muhammad. Might as well look at another. Liberia neighbor. Aha. Oh no. John Paul, don't say it. Okay. Liberia neighbor. If we didn't have these letters in place, like the G and the length of the word, I would have thought Gambia. But that would have been wrong because it's looking like Guinea works for Liberia neighbor. Nice one. Good stuff. And notice how finishing touches is just locking into place with every down. Jack is in Big Lottery's pocket. Yeah. All this time, I've just been a shill for the Powerball. Apple platform. It's just been one elaborate advertisement. Okay, potato, potatoes. It's a good username. iOS for Apple platform. Seems right. This is the operating system that runs on iPhones. Angie knew that one. Underwater Canuck knew that one. And Catherine knew that one. Commercial prefix that evokes winter weather. Good. Good. I'm digging this puzzle. We're making good time on it. It's been smooth. Smooth. Discoveries were made. Ogres were summoned. Yeah, I think snow makes sense. Snow spelled like this because it's in, it's cutesy because it's in ads. Timing of many first steps, and that is atop good thinking. Okay, these are our last two clues for this section. Okay. Yeah, I guess age 1. Tim A says, are older crosswords, like from the 1970s, difficult with cultural references to its time? I think that's an excellent question, Tim, and the answer is yes. I don't know if I've ever solved a crossword from the 1970s, but I'll say even if I solve a crossword from like 1992, which I have done, they're a lot harder. And not because the cluing style is harder, but just because the references have moved and shifted. And a little bit the voice of the puzzle changes over time. And if you solve regularly, you start to learn the voice of the editors and the constructors. So yes, older puzzles, I think, tend to be a lot harder. I'm curious, though, that if someone was like really culturally plugged in the 70s, how they would feel about a crossword from the 70s. Slugger's stat. YouTube folks seem to know their baseball stats. RBI. Chili says, "What is excuse me? What is age one?" I think it's just when you're 1 year old. When you're a 1 year old, you might take your first steps. It's a common time for people to take their first steps. Age one feels like a clunky answer, says Amy. Fair enough. Oh, and I didn't even see this clue. I was waxing poetic about 1970s crosswords. Female lobster is a hen. I did not know that female lobsters were called hens. I'm glad I went back to check that one. Rhonda says, I would be great at the 70s, born in 1957. I'm actually curious. You should try to find an old crossword and solve it and see how it feels. Logician is making a good point on Twitch as well that having so many cultural references in the crossword is actually a newish thing. That older crosswords were a lot more, I don't know, academic kind of. They were a lot more about trivia. Whereas putting something like Coca-Cola, which would be a fun modern entry in today's puzzle, was frowned upon in the past. Sweets, again, we have Bay. Yeah, Bay and Hun. We had sweets twice in the grid. Neither times was referring to treat. Both times, yeah, like sweetums, as Arkadium loves to say. Viper teeth. Yeah, so even having so many cultural, pop culture stuff in a crossword that is, somewhat in the last 20, 30 years. Lobster cages are called bedrooms. Interesting. Shiloh knows Bay. And where are we? Angie, Minnie, Canuck saying fangs, CJ, and Lay, no fangs for viper teeth. Looking good. Ashram advisor. Nice. Ashram advisor. Miguel giving me a good coiled snake emoji. Shiloh and Lay and Therese and Pashi giving me a Guru and Angie. Yeah, ashram is like the plate is the place where gurus hang out. James says a lot more Latin, less French, Spanish in older crosswords. That's interesting. Three-legged race briefly. Three-legged race briefly. I'm having trouble parsing your username. Johan? I'm going to call you Johan unless you correct me. Lockie is here saying try. Try to make sense of this. I get that try is a prefix meaning three, but why race? What does race mean? Oh, triathlon. Thank you. Thank you, Dad, not Dude. I was misunderstanding this. A three-legged race. Oh, 3 legs in the race. It's actually very clever. I like it. Okay. That helped. Johan is correct. Okay, cool. Cranky state. Excuse me. Crossing invite to coffee, say. Cool. Yeah, Joey Bag of Donuts. How do people come up with their usernames? I swear. I'm seeing some people say snip and some people saying snit, so we might need a cross to decide this one. Yeah, but Lay and Danny Joe and Rand are saying ask out. Yeah, invite to coffee, you ask someone out. So I think snit works nicely with cranky state. You're not wrong. And it's spelled like this, which is kind of how texters type. So I think it's going to be some sort of slangy text way to say you're not wrong. Okay. Yeah, Amy got true as in true dad. Right. Right. Joey Bag of Donuts and Minnie getting that as well. Yeah, you're not wrong. True. Very true. McDonald's magnate Ray. We were talking McRib in yesterday's puzzle. Anyone remember who the McDonald's magnate is? Yeah, Jennifer Reese and D and A. Miguel seem to remember. Johan remembers. Douglas Filler remembers. Kroc. Ray Kroc. Ooh, and it is working. Yeah, Scav called out long ago. Fashion style related to Lux Grunge is boho chic. What a crossword entry. It's a great use of an 8-letter slot. Boho chic. Boho, I think, is like bohemian, so kind of hippie looking, but still chic and stylish at the same time. Love it. Great entry. I like attention to detail in the long bonus entries. Boho chic and I admit it are good uses of those slots. Is awesome. Is awesome. Yeah. Shreya rocks, and Rand rocks, and Underwater Canuck rocks. Box blank. Box blank. Minnie says, you rock, Jack. Thank you. Thank you, Minnie. And Jessica and Amy giving me rock and roll emojis. Nice. Oh, box kite. Why couldn't I see this? Yeah, box kite makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Minnie making up for yesterday when everyone in chat was calling me an idiot. They weren't actually. It was in the grid, but I momentarily felt accused. Box kite, yeah. Those are those kites that are like boxy, I guess. How's the aerodynamics of those work? I've never really asked that question, but how does a box fly? Best guess as to when initially. All right, 2 squares left in this crossword, and I want to make this count because I want that confetti, and I want to play a rousing game of Hurdle with you all. Jessica Plankboy and Lena Luna says, no, I'm late. You are late. You missed the crossword, but you're just in time for Hurdle if you're into that. Nike Cat saying ETA. I think that makes sense. Your estimated time of arrival. What's this? Matching game with diamonds, squiggles, and ovals. Ooh, that's nice. Has anyone played this game? I actually love this game. It's very interesting. And what's this? Get out of here. Okay, good. I think we know what this is. I already see some drum rolls coming in chat. I'm going to put this in 1 second. Yeah, it is a T. It is Set, which is a fun game that I recommend if you haven't played before. But before I do, in case anyone's thinking of leaving, I want to make a couple announcements. We are going to play Hurdle right after this, and I'm streaming twice tomorrow. So same time, noon Eastern, our usual time, but also at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're leaving for Hurdle, I just want you to know before you go. Here we go. T, we get the confetti, much deserved. Well done. Well done. And everyone wants the same thing for Hurdle. I'm pulling up Hurdle right now, and I know what we're starting with. You will get your wish. With something that serendipitous, we have to honor it in the form of a word puzzle. So here we go. Almost there. And hopefully that looks all right. A little adjustment. And all right, that looks pretty good. So yeah, we're doing ogres. We're doing ogres. It was just too perfect showing up in the grid when people were begging for Shrek. Ooh, and look at that. It actually hit very well. Nike Cat just followed us. Thank you so much. Ooh, and Nanny McPhee followed us. You guys are the best. Yeah, we're doing Hurdle. If you don't know Hurdle, yeah, ogres also, like, why is today the day of ogres? It's really weird. Like, I was not expecting, like, the G to hit, for example. Groan. Groan is a nice place to go with this, I think. Groan. Yeah, shuffles our known letters and tosses in some common ones. Let's try it. All right, well, we found the G at least. Yes, Arkadium explaining the rules. If you don't know Hurdle, we're trying to guess a 5-letter word. We get 6 guesses to do it, and we get some information after each guess. Green means that the word does begin with a G. Yellow means that these letters do exist in the word, but they're not in those positions. And then what makes Hurdle different from Wordle, if you've played that, is that we do this 5 times, and they're chained together in a certain way, and the last level gets wild. Last level is my favorite, but we got to get there first. I like Gourd. I just saw Rainbow Canoe guessing. Yeah, there's no reason to dislike this, right? Let's go Gourd. Ooh, nice. It's appropriate for the season too. We are in gourd season. Very good word. Started strong. All right, no G today. We're not getting ogres on board too. But that was a very nice first round of hurdle. I feel like I don't know, we're sharing a wavelength today. I see plain. I see think. I like plain because it guesses an A and an E. Yeah, I feel like we should try to do some vowels. Steam is another one. Radio. Yeah, the radio uses the O again, though, which I'm less in favor of. So why don't we try, I just saw least. It uses the AE and a lot of common letters. Let's try that. Ooh, very successful. Okay. No greens, but we know a lot of our letters. Least. So how's this going to work? Maybe it starts with ST? Yeah, like Steam, as Kyle's saying. And that was a guess from earlier. Maybe we just go with Steam. It really, I mean, it could be. But it could also be something like steak I just saw. But we have a little room to play. I hope I'm not jinxing us, but I think this is worth trying. Oof. Wow, okay, that was not the right arrangement. That's the difference between me feeling confident and a little nervous. My heart rate just went up a little bit because now 3 guesses and we still haven't found where any of these live. Barnacle Bum is here. You're late, but just in time at the same time. It can't be Steel Nike Cat because this yellow means that there is an S in the word, but it's not in the first position. Arkadium telling me to take deep breaths. Okay, waste. What about that? Like this. I'm just checking it. Doesn't disagree with anything. Warthog is here saying not Aster. Yeah, because no R from gourd. Taste also. But waste distribute, yeah, paste. Based. Wow, there's actually a lot. Maybe we guess one of them to see. Based would actually work with the season. Kind of want to do based because we had gourd already. What if it's a Thanksgiving theme? For the record, hurdles are not themed, but let's try it. Okay, this is important now because I think we can do this with a clever filler word. I think there are too many options because there's waste and there's paste. Is there one more? There's taste, yes. So we have at least 3 possibilities, which means we need a good filler word. Something ideally that uses a W, a P, maybe even a cast. Ooh, boy, cast is scary. The problem is the T only is helpful if we put it in the beginning, because we know there is a T in the word. The T is going to light up. Okay, so can we think of anything with a P, W? Oh, and haste. Oh my God, there's so many possibilities. So maybe we just CH. CH. Could that do anything? There's like watch, which. How do we do this? Whips, chips. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like the best we can do is get 3. So we actually might lose this. We might just get unlucky unless we can think of a filler that uses 4 of these words. Am I wrong? Is there anyone that has patch or watch? Let me try. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to put it in for a second. Thing is, the T doesn't help in this position at all. Twerp. Twerp. Twerp might be good. Hold on. But it's still just 3. I mean, it could still be cast or haste, right? If this doesn't hit at all. Fuse. We can't get more than 3, can we? Whipped, but I don't think that's a word. But it would be good, but I don't think it's a word. And also the T doesn't help in that position. So okay, we just have to hope, I think. Seeing cheap. Yeah, maybe cheap is fine. I mean, it guesses 3 of the letters. If this doesn't hit at all, we just have to do a Hail Mary between taste and waste. Patch does 4. No, because the T is not helpful in that position, so that really only does P, C, and H. If we do patch, we know the T is going to light up, but it doesn't actually tell us if it goes in the beginning. Does that make sense, David? All right. Which? Same deal. Same deal. We can't do better. Twerp. Twerp is W and P. So I think we can't do better. They're all kind of equivalent guesses at this point. We're just sort of guessing and we're just sort of hoping. All right, I'm doing it. Oh boy, I was really hoping one of those would light up. Oh no, we could lose. We could lose on round 2. It's either taste or waste, and we don't know. Rough. Rough. All right, which one are we gonna do? It's waste or taste. It's a coin flip, 50-50. Lucinda's voting W. Catherine's voting T. Johan's voting W. I don't know how to do this. All right. Yeah, I needed to do Twerp, but of course, it's easy to say that in retrospect. Objectively, I think Twerp was as good of a guess as Cheap. Ogres live in waste, said allegedly. All right, we're doing waste. Cross your fingers. I've never hoped so much in my life. Here we go. Oh, yes! I love that green. Oh my god. That was too tense. That was too tense. Whew. Trust in the ogres, said allegedly. Shrek paid off for us once again. Oh my god. Wow. That was I never doubted you, says Arkadium. Oh my god. I can't handle this game sometimes. Zani says, is this a themed puzzle? No, Hurdle does not have a theme. And Lucky, you missed the crossword. That's a bummer. It was a nice crossword, but you're here for Hurdle, and that matters too. Oof, this is rough. Bison? Why not? Now I feel like I have all the room to play. Ooh, and the B hit and the O hit. Nice guess on Bison. Oh, man. So question, how has Amay never lost Hurdle when I get into these tense situations all the time? Like, we easily could have lost there. It was literally a coin flip. Bossy, that's a nice one. Yeah, Heather and Mo. A lot of people, and Logician. Bossy. Okay, Amy and Logician says that she doesn't play as much. Okay, but Arkadium says it's natural talent. So it's one of those theories. A legend says we were never going to lose with Shrek on our side. Nice. Bossy was a really good one. Oh man, I'm so grateful. I feel like I've been given a second life. You know, I don't want to waste it now. Ogres are bossy, Rhonda. Now we're just gonna see everything through the lens of Shrek. Got green colored glasses on. Warhog saying stare, which is a very mature Hurdle guess at this stage. Just all common letters. Tries to fit an S. Let's do it. And look at that. When you're mature, it pays off. Allegedly wanted me to guess Shrek. All right. I have to draw the line somewhere. Hurdle will not accept Shrek, but I think we're in good shape here. It's still with multiple possibilities, probably Slate, Spate. It can't be Shape because we need to find a T somewhere, Bonnie. So I think Slate, State, Spate. No, it can't be State, sorry. Skate. Do we want a filler? Or do we have enough room to play? Arkadium will love spreading rumors about me. Just making promises on my behalf. Plush as a filler word. Let me just see, because that guesses the L, it guesses the P. That's not bad. Maybe pluck is better because it guesses a K also for skate. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, pluck. Luxopix is agreeing with me on pluck. AJ agrees. Let's do it. Okay, sweet. The L worked, and we know where it is, so we know exactly. There's only one possibility now. It is Slate, and we're making it to the final level. Our hard work has paid off. Our prayers to the ogre gods have paid off. Here we go. If you're new to Hurdle, the last level is crazy. Ooh, and this is a bad draw, by the way. Our first 4 guesses are supplied for us, and we only get 2 of our own guesses. Normally, we get more hits than this. This is rough. All we know is that it ends in an E, there's an R somewhere, and we've ruled out a handful of letters. Fortunately, I and E are both still valid. Yeah, this is bad. Very bad. If we lose this, I'm never watching Shrek again. All right, stay calm. How are we doing this? I see price, I see prime, verve. Oh boy. Maybe we should guess something. Crime. How do we do this? Wait, yeah, so we need an R. So crime and price and prime are being thrown out. There's also nerve. Oh man. Should we? It's not going to be rinse Maypro because there's no S in the word. All right, I'm seeing a lot of guesses for prime. Can't be. Bill Crook says can't be. Guesses the C, M, and P. Let me just think about this. Is can't be a good filler? It feels risky because we don't even know if there's an I or an E, you know? I feel like we don't have enough. Let's do crime, maybe. Oh, we could do crimp. That is smart. Good little edit. Ooh, that is good hurdling. Yeah, allegedly, and Warthog are saying crimp. We know the E is here. We don't need to guess something. This is smart. This is smart. And it didn't work out in our favor at all. Wow. Is there any way we make this happen? Oh, boy. The only thing I can think is that we ruled out an I. And there can't just be one E at the end, so we know there is another E somewhere. Nerve and verve. Those are the ones I'm seeing. Allegedly, like, dear Shrek, please help. Nerve and verve. Nerve, do it, says John. Okay. Keep your eye on the prize, says Barbara. Shrek, I'm writing to you for guidance. Shrek has a lot of nerve, doesn't he? Nerve is more common. All right. Chat has spoken. Crossword Bringers, we got another coin flip. Can we win 2 coin flips in one hurdle? I'm not sure. Let's try it. Oh my god, so close. So close. Oh my god, it was verve. To work so hard and get robbed at the very last moment. All right. Never watching Shrek again. That's what I promised, and I'm sticking to it. Shrek is over. Oh my god. That was very tense. Allegedly says, Shrek just got back to me. He said it's verve. Oh, the pain. Verve bested us. Good game, guys. We really tried our level best, and that's what's important. I always have fun solving these puzzles with you. Please join me twice tomorrow. I would love your company 2 times, once at the normal noon Eastern, and once again at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be solving 2 different crosswords, 2 different hurdles, and yeah, sorry, I'm just catching up on everyone coping in chat. Yeah, it's always fun, says Rhea. Still so much fun, says Amy. I feel like we were all donkeys, says Ray. You guys are making me laugh. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and check out Arkadium in the meantime. I will see you all soon, I hope. Bye, everybody.